Hi everybody, welcome to Brunel University's webcast. My name is Anjali Kazi. I'm the Regional International Marketing Manager for the Americas. I'm joined today by two of Brunel's finest American students, who I may add are also international scholarship winners. So we have Shahana Ansari here. Shahana is studying our MA in Children, Youth and International Development at our School of Social Sciences. And we have Jamie Gust. Hi. Jamie is studying Design and Strategy Innovation, MA, MSc? MA, beg your pardon, at our School of Engineering and Design. So Shahana and Jamie are going to give you a presentation about their experiences at Brunel, a little bit of information about their course, and then we'll be here to answer any of your questions. So I'm going to pass you over to Shahana now.
Okay. As you can see, I'm a U.S. student. I'm from Bloomington, Indiana, and so I'll put in my Go Hoosiers into that. I actually graduated from the University of Tampa in Florida with a BA in psychology, and I went on to do a year of work in Indianapolis, Indiana, at a nonprofit organization which was serving youth in the area. And then I also spent a year in India afterwards working at an environmental organization doing volunteer work with children. And so now my current study program of children, youth, and international development really spoke to me. It was something that I had obviously had interest in, and so I came to Brunel to study that. Basically, I chose Brunel on the program. I had been searching for something which would allow me to kind of pursue my passions, and this was it. So this program is particularly great for me because it asks those difficult questions within the realm of international youth serving organizations, examines the relationship between development and poverty in regards to the implications for children. And it's also really discussion-heavy classes, so it gives you an opportunity to speak with your peers, other professionals, as well as the lecturers about things that you really want to explore. So that's been really great with my program here. As far as the campus goes, I really love Brunel mostly because it's diverse, and I love meeting people from all over the world, getting to know about different cultures and different experiences. And that's been really great for me. I love how welcoming the campus is. I love how everybody is so friendly to one another. In particular, things that I'm involved with in campus outside of my course, here at Brunel, they offer free language courses as part of the fees. So it's totally included. You can join in on any language course you like. And for me, I'm learning Arabic, which is something really interesting and great. It's something that I'd never had the opportunity to do before. I'm also involved with Links, which is a first aid training program, and so both of those things are really great opportunities. Again, they're just part of your fees are included, and so it's really great opportunities. As far as the location of Brunel, I find it really great that we are so connected to London. We can get there easily through the underground, but for people like me, I'm from a small town in Indiana. I don't like the hustle and bustle of city life all the time. So it's really great to be a little bit outside of the city limits of London, but still have access to everything within it. My top tips for you all as you're looking into maybe coming to Brunel, first of all, look into your program. For me, everyone was so happy to help explain and address any of my concerns, my questions, all of that. Everyone is really welcoming and really ready to answer questions. So take advantage of that. Really get to know the program that you want to get into. I think that's probably the biggest piece of advice I can offer. Ultimately, you're investing in this education, and these people are so willing to help you explore what you want to learn. So take advantage of their expertise. Ask questions, obviously. Professors, current students, graduated students, all of them are there for you. I would also suggest applying to the Brunel University International Scholarship. That's been obviously a great help to me. I think one great piece about it is, yes, it is financial help, but it's also kind of a small community within the Brunel community. We get to know each other and see each other and have those connections between each other. So that's been really great. Also, as far as finances go, you can get U.S. loans through FAFSA, just like U.S. universities. So that's definitely something to look into and take advantage of. And finally, you are abroad and always take advantage of any opportunities to go abroad. I think they're great learning experiences about yourself and about the world. I think that Brunel has great connections as far as helping people really explore London and explore the UK. And so that would be my final tip, is to make sure you take advantage of your time abroad. So if anybody has any questions, feel free to ask. We'll move on to the next presentation, but at any point, questions are encouraged.
So I'm Jamie, and I'm doing an MA in Design Strategy and Innovation. I did my undergrad in Syracuse, New York at Syracuse University, and I studied industrial and interaction design. I'm from Connecticut, and I really love living abroad and experiencing the diverse community here as well. The reason why I chose Brunel is because it's so close to London, and it's the heart of design. The city has so much there to offer, exhibits, museums to go and see and inspire your work. And it also, here at Brunel, is a really strong design program. There's opportunities for you to use career services, which is really great. They're always there to help you look for internships, jobs, help you work on your CV or portfolio. And there's people in each area that specialize in design or your field to help you find placements, as well as jobs after. Even if you are an international student, there are ways to work around that, trying to work here in the UK. Everything's really close. It's a small campus, so it's really easy to access the library, the gym, the art center. There's a center where you can go and do ceramics in your free time or drawing. And it's all great experience. So for design strategy innovation, it's understanding how to shift businesses and also management within by using design. So you can do brand strategy from this program and go work at companies and work with them to improve their brand through design. You can also study innovation and look at how to grow a company by using design to either make their business more innovative, their products more innovative, and eventually become either a brand manager or a design manager. This is all theory, so coming from a design background, it's a big transition getting used to writing essays and doing that end of work, but it gives you a new perspective on how design can contribute to almost change the world. In any business, you can help influence making it grow or just sustaining it so it's innovative throughout its entire life. There's the tutors here are really supportive and experienced in their fields. Some of them have 10 years being design managers at like British Airways, for example, so you can learn how design can influence an organization. For campus life, there's always something going on. There's fish markets on campus. There's fruit and vegetable stands coming out, fresh fruit and vegetables. There's fireworks last fall that we got to go and see. Always something to do. I'm involved in Made in Brunel, which is known internationally. It's where design students can present their work to professionals. There's a book that goes all around the company, really helpful for jobs. I'm also a member of Brunel Active, which is the gym club, and you go and they have tons of different classes from Zumba to kickboxing, swimming. There's a lot available for you. There's also volunteer clubs and opportunities, like there's the skiing club, the dancing club, even a trampoline club, pretty much anything you can think of, or you can even start your own club here. My top tips would be to get involved with as many activities and course opportunities as you can, but always be sure to focus on your studies, because these opportunities outside of the classroom will really help ground you while you're studying abroad and create a network of friends that can help you through your studies. Also be confident with your skills and arrive ready to jump in and face any challenges that may come. It can be difficult being far from home, studying abroad, but it's also a great experience learning how to study for yourself and plan everything for yourself, but have this group of people that are from all different countries and learn about their experience and their culture in an intimate community. And don't forget to make time to go in and experience London and learn from the city itself. There's so much to learn there.
Okay, thank you very much, Shahana and Jamie. As I said, we're available now. If you've got any questions, please fire away. One of the first things I thought I'd pick up actually is the international scholarship. Brunel International offer 37 international scholarships, and that's available for postgraduate, undergraduate, and research students. I'm going to ask Shahana and Jamie a little bit about the application process because, as I said, they were two of our winners. So it'd be good to kind of understand what they felt contributed to them actually winning the scholarship. We offer a 15% discount or a £3,000 reduction off the first year of your fees. And also as part of the scholarship winners agree to do certain ambassadorial duties throughout their time at the university. And that means helping at events like this, contributing to certain websites or publications. So I'm going to pass it over just to say a little bit about what your application included and how it's helped you since you've been here at Brunel.
It included a short essay that you had to write, and I think the biggest thing to do when you're writing that is to just show passion for your course and that you really want to be here and to experience an international course, learn how to learn in another country, and show the love for your the course that you're choosing. I think that's probably.
Yeah, I was gonna say the exact same thing. Basically, in my essay, as I expressed before, I really had passion for my course, and I let that come through in my essay. I think be honest about what you're passionate about, but make sure you express it well, and that's really the key. Is as long as you very obviously want to be here and you are putting a lot of effort into making that happen, then they'll see that.
Okay, thank you. Another question that we often get asked is to do with accommodation. As an international student, you'll be guaranteed accommodation on our campus. So as you might know already, we're a campus-based university. I don't know if you can see our picture here, but this is basically the university grounds, and it means that everything is under one roof, so to speak. Nothing is more than 10 minutes walk. So where you live, where your lecture hall is. So we sit slightly on the outside of central London. We're based in West London. However, it takes about 35 minutes, maybe 40 on a bad day, to get into central London. But as Shahana picked up on, some of the benefits of living slightly outside of central London, it's much greener. The cost of living tends to be slightly lower than in central London, and obviously you're not paying high travel prices to get from your lecture hall to your accommodation. So back to accommodation, as I said, international students are guaranteed on-site accommodation in their first year as long as they apply within the deadline. Perhaps you can tell them a little bit about the accommodation facilities, what it's like to live on campus.
Alright. So I have a standard accommodation, and I'm not sure if that's different, but I find it to be really, it's got everything that I need. What the difference between accommodation here and what I experience in the US is that the rooms here are single, whereas at home we tended to have shared rooms. So that is one big difference, and that's I think it's a benefit. It's been nice to not have to share the room. We also have one difference is that we have fully equipped kitchens, which is not something which was available as well in my experience in undergrad in the US. So there are facilities on campus where you can eat, but you can also cook at home, and that's a really great way to save money as well. I do all my cooking there. The nice thing about these accommodations that you really get to know the people on your floor. Since I do have standard accommodation, I think that's one kind of special thing about it. I guess we see each other a whole lot more, and we have a really nice community. I love the girls on my floor. So I think my experience has been positive. Overall, I think one of the best things is the convenience of not having to get up very early to get to class, or being able to set up meetings on campus and being able to take full advantage of all the facilities on campus very easily by living here on campus. So that's been my experience.
I'm in a couples flat, so they do have couples housing. It's a studio apartment, so inside of it's included in the dorm room facility. There's all of the single rooms, and then the top floor has individual rooms with a bedroom, a bathroom, a little kitchenette, and a little living room. And it's really nice in there. Everything's really bright, white walls, colorful couches. So it's a really uplifting environment to be in. And all of the halls are very close to each other. So if you have friends, you could probably see them out of your window and really easily meet up with them.
Another thing that we offer on campus, because we have about 4,500 students living on campus, so we appreciate it's a home away from home. We have a supermarket, we have a pharmacy, a bank, a couple of coffee shops, there's a student nightclub, a couple of bars.
Yes, right on campus.
Right on campus. So as I said, at least we have a lot of amenities available to you if you do live on campus. And we're also based in a town called Uxbridge. And from Uxbridge, we have two main underground lines that go into central London. Can you tell them a little bit about Uxbridge, the surrounding area?
Yeah, it's quite nice. I really like the feel of Uxbridge. It's a small town feel, even though it's so close to London. We're close to the city center, which is a nice small area. You can walk there, and it's about a 20-minute walk, maybe a mile away, or you can take the bus. Bus also runs very frequently, and there are a couple of malls available and lots of nice little coffee shops and bookstores, and it's a quiet but kind of charming atmosphere, I guess, to hang out in. So that's what I like about it.
Yeah, there's lots of shops there. You can like Gap, French Connection, all places to go buy a new outfit or go and meet friends for burgers. It's a nice area to go, and it's so close. If you're feeling like you need to step away from your studies, it's a great place to go and just have walk around with friends.
Another key feature of the university, we feel, is that we have a very large international community, which we really embrace and celebrate. We have 15,000 students at the university, of which about 2,500 are international. I don't know if you have or you've made friends from different countries.
Yeah.
Anywhere in particular?
Yes, hopefully I'll be going to my friend's wedding in India, which I've always wanted to see an Indian wedding. So also from Italy, Lebanon, Korea, China. I think I can visit every country now after being here. So
Yeah, I've got friends from all over the place. It would take a long time to name all the countries, but I'm actually surprised that the number is so little. It feels it's a big number, but it feels like it's even bigger than that because I'm constantly meeting people from different places all the time. I think on a daily basis, I'm meeting someone new from a different country. So it feels like you're in a completely very, very diverse community, and there's so many different types of people to meet. It's really great. That's definitely one of the best things about Brunel as well.
And what about London? Do you ever go into central London much?
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry.
So yeah, Central London. Like I said, I'm not a huge city person, which is why I love Uxbridge. So I go into Central London occasionally to see kind of the big things, do a little bit of the touristy things, and get to see. They also have a lot of resources and a lot of like theater and music, and all of that is really, really great here in London if you're into that sort of thing. I think I often go to meet people and yeah, just sightsee, go around London. It's something new. It's a new place to explore, and there's always something to explore. So it's a great way to get off campus.
Doing your master's, at least on my course, there's a lot of days where you don't have to come into campus because some of the work you're doing alone. So I go into London to meet friends who actually chose to live there. So they actually commute into school, and because they love the city, where I prefer to be a little bit on the outskirts as well. But when I go into them, we go to markets. There's so much to do there. Museums, going to the British Museum. All museums are free here, so that's really great. And there's also late nights at the V&A on Friday nights. You can go to the Victoria and Albert Museum and experience that. Also, going to see Big Ben and all of the tourist attractions. It's so great to go and see those as well.
Do you think it was big, Big Ben?
No,
You're small here.
so, that's all been really great.
Just to pick up on Shahana's point about the US loan, just to reiterate, you are eligible to apply for a US loan if you are accepted at Brunel University. We actually have a dedicated international finance team who deal closely with the US federal loan system. So you can apply for government funding, the FASFA, yeah, and private loans through Sally May as well. We also have that option available. So all the information is on our international page. So it's brunel.ac.uk/international, and you just go to the fees section for more information about that. Just to carry on with fees, can I ask roughly how much your course costs?
You go first.
Well, everything altogether, housing, they estimate all of the costs is 45,000 US. So it's 15,000 pounds for your course alone, and then everything else is factored in, just like in your undergrad or if you're doing it, everything's in a big bundle package. So you don't have to worry about flights or books. It's all included in that fee, and the loans cover that. So it's really nice. You don't have to worry about anything.
Was that the loan? The
Yeah.
loan that covers that?
Yeah,
Oh, I
so they estimate all of your costs that you need to live here, to travel back for maybe Christmas if you needed to go see your family over the holidays, books, food. It's all included in that. But tuition alone is the 15,000 pounds, right, for international students.
So for my course for international students, it was 12,000 pounds. And I didn't do the loan process. I did a program in the US called AmeriCorps and got Education Award. And so that they also work with that as well. And they accepted my AmeriCorps Education Award. So in total, I spent about $20,000 with the international scholarship and with the Education Award.
And just to reiterate, our postgraduate courses in the UK are 1 year as opposed to 2 years, as I believe it is in the US. Our undergraduate courses are generally 3 years. However, what's unique about Brunel University is we offer what's called a fixed sandwich or a placement year. So that would make it a 4-year course if you opt for that. And it means in your 3rd year of study, you do a 1-year work placement. And it's a great opportunity to get work experience, exposure to industry. It enhances your employability prospects. It's something, of course, that you can add to your CV as well. So, for example, all our business study courses offer the placement option at undergraduate level. We've had students work for IBM, Adidas, Microsoft, Warner Brothers. As Jamie touched on earlier, we have an award-winning placement and career centre, which has a dedicated international careers counsellor that helps students find work during their time at the university and up to 2 years after they graduate. It's a service that you can also utilise after you've left Brunel. A lot of students aren't aware of the working policies at Brunel in the UK. So as a student, during term time, you're allowed to work up to 20 hours per week, part-time. And during your vacation or your holidays, you can work full-time. I don't know if you have part-time jobs, do you?
Yeah, so I do work on campus with the Student Ambassador Program. So I do things like give tours or go to HE fairs or do different presentations and things like that. And that actually is a really great experience because you get to know other students on campus, you get to know the campus really well, and I don't have to go anywhere to do my job. I get to stay here on campus. So but that's been a really, really positive experience for me, and I would suggest anyone to go for the Student Ambassador Job Program.
Do you get paid for that?
Yes, you do get paid. But it differs depending on the event and the timing and things like that. So I can't give it a specific rate. You kind of make your own schedule as you go along as well. So emails are sent out of different events that are happening, and you choose which ones you're free for and you'd like to do. It's a really flexible job, and it's really great. It's very specific about how much you get paid for each event in the emails that come out. So it's very fair. I would say that.
That's very diplomatic.
No, it definitely is. It's more than fair, yeah.
Okay.
I do not work part-time, however, I do have friends that work at Locos, which is, it's not the club, but it's a little bar area right across from the library, actually, with couches, and everyone can meet up there and hang out for a drink or even a snack, and they bartend there. So that's a really fun job for them, and it's really flexible. They just communicate on Facebook and can swap shifts if one person is a little overwhelmed with work and another person has more free time. So you really don't have to be fully committed like a part-time job. You can really work more hours or less depending on your schedule.
Okay. And just to touch on the format of our teaching, as I said, our postgraduate courses are only 1 year long. So we do have a mixture of, taught elements, there's group projects, there's self-study. Maybe you can talk a little bit about what your timetable's like, how it's spread out throughout the week, and the different methods of teaching, perhaps.
So for mine, I actually am only in class 1 day a week this term. Last term it was 2 days a week. There's a lot of self-study in my course, but we also, in the second term, we do a placement as well. So I'm doing a placement in a nonprofit organization, a small nonprofit organization here in Uxbridge, which I really love. It's really great experience. And I am kind of, as part of the placement, I've seen a project from inception to the end of that project. So it's a really, really great experience for me, and will help to advance my career, I'm sure. So even though we're only in class 1 day a week, there's quite a bit to do during the rest of the time. The placement is there, but yeah, there's quite a bit of self-study involved in my course.
Yeah, for me, last term we actually met 4 days a week, and I had 4 different classes. So there was design, strategy, and innovation, which is all learning about how to use design strategically within an organization, and you have regular lectures. So I have 4 different lectures, and you get a project for each lecture. That's another thing I think is a little different. I'm not sure if it's just because I'm at a master's level, but usually you have 1 or 2 projects that really make up the whole module. So it's a little bit easier where you only have 1 thing to focus on. So you're really focusing on that 1 project for your whole course that would be assigned. And then term 2, they kind of let you free. And I started meeting 2 days a week this term, and now it's only 1 now that we're halfway through the project. But the dissertation runs from January through September. So you're working on that, and you have a personal tutor that meets with you one-on-one weekly. So they help guide you in that way. But it is a lot of self-learning. That's probably the biggest difference, is that they present to you what you need to do, and you go and do it, and then you come back for your feedback at the end. But it's really great for learning how to manage your time and guide yourself throughout a project, just like as if you were in a job. I think it's really beneficial to have that confidence to make your own decisions throughout projects and really use what you've learned in your undergrad to further your knowledge, and actually pick projects that you want to do because you want to do them, not because you're being told to do them. It gives you the chance to grow and really tailor your course to what you want to learn. So in my course, there are people doing their dissertations on things from how to create a stronger brand within an organization. And then I'm looking at the quilting community, and I actually joined the modern quilt guild in London. So I go in and meet with quilters and learning how to help them grow their, not business, their industry, and spread it to other people.
Wow, that's very interesting. And just to pick up on your work placement, is that something that you found yourself, or was it something that we helped you find?
That was something. There was the connection was there through the previous placement. There had been students who'd been placed there previously, and my lecturer offered information on different placements that were available for any of us that didn't know or like me came from abroad and didn't have connections here. And so, but I took the step obviously to get in contact with them and send my CV and see if they were interested in me. So that connection was through the school, but you have to initiate communication. But they were very, very supportive in helping me find the connection. So.
And another point I think we'd like to pick up on is students often ask, because I believe you can major or minor in the US, and they ask whether they can combine a particular subject with another subject. So, for example, can I do politics with economics? Particularly at undergraduate level, we offer undergraduate courses where you can have joint honours programmes. So for social sciences, for example, we have politics and history, politics with economics, politics and sociology. Within the School of Arts, you could do English on its own, for example, or English with creative writing, English with film and TV studies, English with games design or theatre. So often within the school, there are options, particularly at undergraduate level, to combine two different subjects. So what I would recommend is if there is a particular course that you're interested in, once you go online for that particular school, do check if a joint honours option is available. Can I just ask, when you were looking for your course, did you apply to lots of different universities or just a couple? What was your process?
For me, my process was looking at the programs and seeing which one I was interested in. And Brunel is actually really quite unique with this program that I'm involved in, Children, Youth, and International. There's not quite anything like it anywhere else. So I had my sights set on Brunel, and I applied to Brunel. And if I didn't get in, then I would have been heartbroken. But luckily, I'm here. So.
I actually studied abroad here 2 years ago in my undergrad. So I was only here for second semester from January to May, and I really fell in love with London and the city having design around. So I was looking for a course, since I majored in industrial design for my undergrad, that really would grow the research end of it and learn how to use design from a business perspective. And because Brunel is so well known for design, I fell in love with the course. I met the head of the department, and he really helped guide me through what the program would be like. So I also I applied here and got in, and I didn't really. It was the best course for me, so I wanted to be here.
And generally, in undergraduate level, the way to apply is through UCAS. However, for postgraduate level, you can just apply directly online. So once you go onto our website, you find your course, and then on the right-hand side, you have an Apply Now button. And you just follow the procedure that way. I believe that's how you did it as well.
And here as well, it's a lot more common to go straight from your undergrad directly to your master's in the UK. It's something really common that they do, and I know at home that isn't always the case, but you're really supported here if you come straight from your undergrad, which is what I did. And I know sometimes in your undergrad it's 4 years, but coming for just 1 year, you can do your master's and have that extra knowledge to really set you apart from everyone else, and also have a broad experience, which is really helpful.
Exactly. And another thing a lot of people ask is whether they can stay on in the UK to work after graduation. And the way that it works with the visa regulations at the moment, you have 4 months after graduating to apply for what's called a Tier 2 work visa. But in order to apply for that, you do need to secure employment from an organisation recognised by the UKBA. So if you do manage to secure that within your time, that's why we do encourage students to make the most of the placement opportunities, as well as the career centre and the guidance that we offer here to try and do that ultimately before they graduate. But as I said, you have 4 months after you graduate to apply for what's called a Tier 2 work visa. I don't know what your plans are after you graduate. Have you thought about it?
I've applied to a few internships here, so I'm thinking about staying to get work experience here in London and then hopefully take that back to the US.
I actually will be traveling back to the U.S. to do my dissertation, and I will stay there afterwards, looking for employment. So that's my plan.
And maybe to some students out there that perhaps wouldn't really consider going abroad to do either an undergraduate or a postgraduate. I mean, what would your advice be? What do you think are the real benefits of actually leaving your home country to study in a new country, and particularly now, obviously?
I think one of the benefits is you are learning how it's different learning experience. The curriculum is very different here. The way that they teach is very different. So you're learning how to adapt to a new culture and a new system. And I think here in the UK versus the US, their method of teaching is really having you think and solve problems for yourself, and they're more there to guide you along the way. So it really gives you a chance to create your own projects and really go through the whole process with guidance, but really you're driving everything that you're learning. So very different experience, but really beneficial thing for the career world.
Yeah, I agree. Anytime that you get an opportunity to work in a different environment and a different style, that can only be beneficial to your future, to be able to be adaptable to different experiences, and that's so beneficial. That's so valuable that I think that in and of itself is almost worth the experience. But I think one great thing is that going abroad in general, it just gives you really great perspective. Staying in one place for your entire life and never really exploring outside of that kind of blinds you, I think, in certain ways. And being able to go abroad, it gives you a certain amount of ability to be able to see from other perspectives and be more understanding of other ideas, new ideas, and different ways of thinking. And I think that's so important for everyone to have that experience. So I can't even express how much I really encourage everyone to go abroad at some point. And Brunel obviously is a great place to do all of this because yes, you get the experience of coming to London, seeing how the UK works, but like we said, it's such an international and diverse community that you get the chance to really meet so many different people and be in touch with different ways of thinking, because everyone comes from such different backgrounds. It's a really great community, and everyone is really excited and welcoming and happy to kind of share their differences and compare, and it's part of the fun that we have with each other. So I think going abroad, I recommend, but Brunel has just such this great community of people who are all dedicated to helping you expand your mind. So I think in that way, I can't express enough how much I recommend going abroad, especially here.
And just to talk actually about the time frame. So generally for undergraduate students, they go through UCAS. So ideally they make their applications by the beginning of the year, although applications are accepted, further on up until the summer. However, for postgraduate students, I mean, how long was your kind of time frame for application? Do you remember when you actually applied and received an offer?
It was so quick.
I applied, I think it was January. It was either late December or early January, and I heard back by February 8th, I think was the date.
Really? Okay.
So it was really, really quick response time.
And that was for September start?
Yep, a September start. And for your master's, it's a little different than at home. They go from September to the beginning of December, and then you have a 3-week break, which is the same. And then they start in January and go right before Easter. And then we have our summer term because it's only 1 year. So then you finish by September 27th. And that's all on your own, just meeting with your course director. So you can go back home or stay here. A lot of people go and move into the center of London or stay on campus. So there's a lot of options, really suit whatever your desires are.
So can I just add, that's for postgraduate.
Yeah.
So for undergraduate, we do have 3 terms. So you will come back after Easter and then do your final term before you break for the summer. Just to add that.
My schedule is the same. We follow the same year term schedule. As far as application goes, mine was so fast. I think it was a 2-week turnaround period from when I applied and when I heard back. I did apply a little bit late. I applied in March, but heard back within just a couple, 2 or 3 weeks. I can't remember exactly, but it was quite fast. I had been in touch with the program director and with different students and professors. So I really took my time deciding and figuring out if the program was right for me. And I'm glad I took that time and asked all those questions because I was able to write a really informed application and hear back very quickly as a result. So they were on top of it.
And just to add, actually, some of our postgraduate courses also now have a January start, which is quite new for the universities. So some of our postgraduate law courses and business courses in particular have a January start. So do check it out if there is a particular course that you're interested in, particularly at postgraduate level, because some might start in January as well as September. However, all of our undergraduate courses will start in September, so it will be September to September term. And just going back to the visa, when you applied in the States for your visa to come here, how long did that take and what was that process like? Do you remember? Is it quite straightforward?
It took 4 weeks.
Yeah, I'm not exactly sure either. It's a bit more complicated than other countries I've done, because you have to apply through some paper forms, but then you also have to set up an appointment. Did you have to do this as well? And they take a picture, things like that. Have an interview with you to verify your identity. So it did take a few weeks. Definitely leave time for that. That you need to keep at least a month open for the visa process, I would say. But it is very clearly explicitly written, the steps that you have to go through. That it's not hard to follow. It is just a time consuming process that you should leave a good amount of time there to get that done.
Yeah, and also I got a little bit confused throughout the application process, and the school was so helpful. They sent, even throughout the summer, I was emailing a lot of questions to make sure that it was perfect, because I didn't want it to get rejected, and they were always more than willing to answer questions. You could even call them directly, so someone always has an answer for your visa question. If you need help with even a single line, they're there to help.
Yeah, as I said before, it's worth going to our international pages, so brunel.ac.uk/international, and on there we have a dedicated international immigration service as well as international finance. So if you have specific questions relating to visas, all the information, the contact details are on there, as well as finance issues, as we said earlier about the US student loans. Just to add also, we have an International Student Services Centre. As the ladies picked up on earlier, they organise a host of events throughout the year, and societies are formed. There's lots of different clubs and societies that you can join as a student, as an international student. One other thing that the International Student Services Centre provide is an orientation programme, and it's something that we really promote to our international students and encourage them to attend. So this is hosted usually a week before courses start, and the idea is that international students that come here, often it's the first time they've left home or have arrived in a new country. A week of events are organised. We also include an airport pickup, so there's someone to meet you when you first land in the country, and then during the week we have various events and activities just to help you acclimatise in your new environment and kind of meet new people and get used to, you know, your new space. I don't know if that's something that you went on when you
Yeah,
started.
I think that was really beneficial. Like you said, having someone come and meet you straight at the airport. It was nice after a flight. You're tired and trying to manage your luggage and also figure out a new place and where you're going. So it was really great to have them come and meet us, and immediately meet people who were there to help you. They're probably the friendliest people that I've ever met. They were so ready to just welcome us in whatever way that we needed it. They took me to the campus, but then took me to the correct office to get my accommodation keys, and then additionally drove me over to that accommodation and helped me carry my luggage up to my room. So it was it was a really great way to be welcomed in. And then as far as the entire orientation program goes, I think that's a really good idea to be involved in it. For me, I got to know the campus much better. I got to know many people during that first week. Some of my good friends that I see on a daily basis, I met during orientation, and they've continued to be my good friends throughout. So it's a really great way to meet people who are kind of going through the same things that you are, and you can all sort of be a support for one another. But also they help you get to know Brunel and have fun, together and have a good time. But then they also take you out to Oxbridge, which I thought was really great, and help you get to know the community as well. Small questions about how does the bus work? What do I do with this Oyster card? Like, where do I put it? Do I give it to them? Like, they show you all of these things. Simple questions that I think people tend to take for granted when you've been living somewhere and just know it by heart. So they really walk you through those steps, and it's really helpful. I think that the orientation program is a huge benefit, and I would suggest it.
Yeah, you also meet a lot of kids from outside of your course, so it's something that you really may not be able to do right away. So if you do go to that orientation program, you're meeting people from your course and from outside of your course that you can then go to classes with if they are on your course, or just see and meet up with later.
Okay, well, I hope we've answered some of your questions. Thank you for your time. We're going to be online for the next 5 hours, so if you have any more questions, please fire them out at us. But for now, I want to thank Jamie and Shahana for your time and contribution, and I hope you've enjoyed our little talk, and yeah, we hope to hear from you. So thanks very much, and goodbye from Brunel.
Thank you.